You're listening to Today's World. I'm your host, Laurie Sanders, and with me today is business owner, entrepreneur, founder of Think Fabulous, and lifestyle coach, Camber Hill. And we're talking about where a lifestyle coach sort of develops from and comes from, and his experience and his sort of niche and expertise. But you also, and I'm here in your profile, talks about you had sort of a mystical experience at a younger age that really kind of led you to believe that, okay, I need to follow this path.
Right. Yeah, Laurie, initially, I don't think I'm as common as, I like to think I'm as common as most of the guys my age and from my background. I wanted to be an attorney or study medicine or something of that sort, something respectable and, crazy. And however, by the time I was 20 years of age, I had already done my first. I had a nonprofit business I worked with, the National Foundation for Advancement and Communication of the Deaf. It was a kind of a real bleeding edge thing I was doing at a very young age. And I was set in stone that was my direction. And all of a sudden one evening, I was in a restaurant waiting for the waiter to come and take our order. So I had no cocktails yet. I was, even though at 20, I probably had cocktails at restaurants and whatnot. But so me and my companion were waiting to get that done when all of a sudden my left arm, which was up on on the back of a chair we were sitting in, went completely numb. And then I felt the numbness move throughout my entire body. This all happened within seconds.
Wow.
And I became very frightened, but frightened without understanding why or what I was perceiving. It was all happening so quickly. My heartbeat told me I was frightened. And as the waiter approached the table, and this was a complete packed house, standing room only restaurant, the waiter looked at me with a frightened look on his face to cause me to look over to my companion who I was dining with, and my friend, in a very sober face, said, "Get out of here. Get out of here quick." Wow. So with no mirrors or anything for me to get any clue of what was happening, I scooted my tush out of the booth, and whereas people had their backs to me, Laurie, in this crowded restaurant, and the booths around were filled with diners, the room parted. I mean, it was freaky. People, without even knowing I was coming towards them, moved aside, and I made my way through a piano bar out of the restaurant to the door to breathe, as I'm even feeling right now, just to get a breath and settle down. And Laurie, nobody followed me outside, which was kind of disturbing as I turned around looking for some comfort, for somebody to come out and go, "Are you okay?" The world was completely quiet. The world was still. And I walked around and came back into the booth, and they had evacuated the part of the restaurant where I was sitting. There was a smell, an odor that had come out of nowhere that caused all of the patrons, I would say there were probably 8 booths or 10 booths in the small section of the restaurant. They had to be taken out of the room.
Wow.
And so I walked into a rather confused environment, and that day was the last day that I experienced life under normal circumstances, shall we say. And within 24 hours, my life changed dramatically.
What do you think happened? I mean,
for almost a decade, Laurie, I asked anybody I came in, and I began immediately into a spiritual enclave of teachers who took me under their wings and began to teach me methods, ways to work within my body, my mind, and my spirit to remain at peace and do my work. And I would ask these very spiritual, what I perceived, intelligent people describing the situation, what on God's green earth happened to me that day. It wasn't until Joseph Campbell's mythology books came out back in the late 80s. And I discovered that my experience has been documented throughout time as what is considered to be the moment of a shaman. It's the moment where the ordinary boy gets transformed and something actually penetrates a person. And that person becomes, because of that impregnation or that that system that has entered into their body changes the way they see, they hear, they smell, they taste from that day forward.
Wow.
It's a transformative, almost psychic surgery.
Mm-hmm.
But, however, I was not interested in any of this, Laurie, at all at the time. I wanted, as I mentioned, to do my businesses.
Right.
And so my desire for a mystical path was the furthest thing from my mind.
Well, and you're having dinner at a nice restaurant in Newport Beach. Hello.
Yeah. Can I just have some wine and a steak, please?
Exactly.
Medium rare. Yeah. Right. So that would launch my life work.
So I guess the follow-up this, you've had life experiences. You have taken your show on the road, so to speak, as a lifestyle coach currently, because you've done all these other things and realized that now, okay, from my life experiences and the people that I've come in contact through my life,
right,
that I can help better support individuals to be a better them.
Yes.
Because I don't know about, well, probably not you, but for someone like me and for a lot of our listeners, you wake up one day and go, how did I get here?
Oh, boy, I've been there.
You know, it's like, wow, I'm now 53 years old. I didn't think it was going to be like this.
And you look fabulous.
Oh, thank you. But I didn't think it was going to be, how did my life get here? And I've got XYZ going on. I feel like my day is so completely full with daily routines, yet there's chaos with maybe a flat tire or a sick child or something comes in and upsets the routine. And it's so difficult to find time in my world or in a woman's life.
Yes.
Because we are trying to wear so many hats of nurturer and provider and educator and, cleaner and cook and all these different jobs that we take on willingly.
Right.
But at the end of the day, we're like, how did I get to be this old with this type of life?
Right.
And while it's many aspects of it are fabulous, fantastic, I wouldn't trade a moment of it. Others, you're going, but is that all there is?
Right.
There's so much more, and I don't know how I can fit more into my life.
Right.
So, with you as a lifestyle coach, I mean, what would you say to someone like that?
And there are many, many, many people, many dynamic women and men who reach this precipice in time. And, I think that, history tells us that it's going to hit, folks, somewhere after 40. It may take to 50, but this ball is going to roll down the hill and it's going to hit you. And what I would say, in order to give some direction for your listeners who are sensing it is upon them, or they want to get ready for it later, or it's been here a long time, and what to do to bring some more peace and some fulfillment to your day. The baby step, Laurie, I think I would suggest, not unlike I do when I first meet up with a client, is let's establish 5 things that you want me to know about you. Laurie Sanders, I know you're the dynamic afternoon air personality at KOIT FM, but what are 5 things besides that? Or maybe that's one of them that you want me to know about you. Just, I'm a total stranger. What do you want me to know about you? So start with that. Start by answering that question for yourself. Let's say you're about to meet with Camber Hill and you want to start this process. You want to get in touch and tuned in, and you want an advantage in your life, and you want to feel good. So what are the 5 things that you want to know about yourself? Write them down and write what is good about those 5 things about you. And make this as simple as possible. Let's do this in 10 minutes. Let's knock this out. And then write where you would like this to go in the next year. Where would you like to see these things about you develop into? Now that we have that in place, that's a start. So then I want you to read these. It will take you a few minutes before you go to sleep at night. Because, Laurie, you're going to set a tone for tomorrow at the end of your night. So read these things before you turn the light out, as you're winding down or winding. I like to wind down, but when you're winding down with your cup of tea or with your partner, and then once you're there, read them, go into sleep. When you're sleeping, Laurie, you have now set a tone for the, I hope for your sake that you're getting 8 hours, 7 to 8 hours sleep. You should, because you're going to be a better person to sleep well, or 6, whatever it is for you. When you wake up, you won't wake up so worrisome or concerned about the day because you set the tone the night before. So we're already on a roll now. We're already starting a new lifestyle right here, right now. And then as you get into the day, I don't want you to get, Laurie, all caught up in the white noise of the newspaper, the calamities of the night before, what the Times wants you to know. Before you turn on the financial news, I want you to pull out a book, and I want you to find an author who speaks to one of these 5 interests that is something about you. And I want you to take just a moment while you're having your coffee or your tea or your green smoothie or your juice, and I want you to read at least a page. So now you've set a tone for the day in real life, waking moment, and then get into your shower. For me, I shave and shower, and when you're in the shower, use the shower time when normally you're on mechanics of washing your hair and cleaning your body. Use it to send positive vibes to every man, woman, and child on the planet. Or if you have a friend who you know is mother sick, send her positive vibrational energy with your mind. See it touching her. See her being better. See all the children being fed from every corner of the world. Just take the moment in your shower and make it magical. Call it prayer. Call it meditation. Get it done. Now, those steps will start something fabulous happen. And say when you get out of the shower and you're washing your hair, you're drying your hair off, something fabulous is going to happen to me today.